Hey guys, I'm doing my first commentary video. This mostly came up so I could have a stopgap since my planned videos have been delayed to hell and back. I haven't uploaded a video in 2 months, which not great. I don't want to get back into the habit of taking months off between bursts of content again. I'm putting Super Metroid Map rando footage in the background of this video because for these commentary videos, I kind of want to do a rotation of background games. So I'll probably have like Minecraft, Ultra Kill, Lego games, all that fun stuff. So the topic of this video is the concept of a final meal. I have been very interested in this topic since I stumbled upon Josh Slavin's Death Row Meal series. My recent, as of writing the script, it has been a long time since then, viewing of Chupa's video on what his final meal would be would end up inspiring me to make my own video on it. There we go, I saved that. So, since I had the script in my back pocket for a bit, I feel comfortable making it my first commentary video. My criteria is mostly the same as Chupu's. I have 15 dishes max on my meal, and I've split it up between 5 courses and my drinks. So, without further ado, let's get into the last meal I would eat on Death Row. We'll begin with the drinks. I would get a glass of lemonade, a bottle of red Powerade, and a Mountain Dew Baja Blast. The lemonade is pretty simple. It's just been like a consistent drink that I've liked. You can't really go wrong with a glass of lemonade. The red Powerade is because it was how I got caffeine before I discovered Gamer Supps and other energy drink mixes. It's also pretty nostalgic for me as it was the drink I mainly relied on during my days as a high school upperclassman. The Baja Blast actually is it actually recalls an event from last year. So long story short, I biked for at least an hour all the way to the nearest 7-Eleven and back because I got bored one day. Okay, my voice is it's kind of suffering at this point, but we'll keep on shooting. The full story of that event will probably be like the next commentary video if this does well. So, moving on to the first course, uh, it is going to be comprised of breakfast items, of which I have two: a chicken biscuit and a pair of cinnamon Pop Tarts. Chicken biscuit, it's been pretty much with me all my life from when I first started buying breakfast in school to basically just being my go-to on morning shifts at my job. The Pop Tarts are also from my school days. More specifically, I got them whenever they didn't have a chicken biscuit available. Cinnamon specifically, because that was the flavor that was the most available. They did have like this cool fudge chocolate flavor, but that was like a pretty rare thing to have in the inventory. So, let's move on to course 2, which is lunch items. So I'll start off with a pretty noble one. A sub filled with ham, turkey, bacon, lettuce, onions, all of which is topped with ranch dressing. This sub, with this specific configuration, was my go-to lunch back in my junior and senior year, so a little bit of context. My school, like, either at the beginning of my junior year or the end of my sophomore year, they started selling these subs, which were, they were bangers. They like defied the stereotype of school food being completely terrible. So, anyways, those do like bring back the memories of just like running out of second block as quickly as possible and just going to the subline so I could beat all the 9-cutters who would make the late longer. And yeah, and my second item for course 2 is a chili dog because it's another filler upper from like before or after my work. So moving on to course 3, that would be dinner at home. I will start off with spaghetti and meatballs. It's a very simple but effective meal. It's pretty much been a constant my whole life. I will also have a cheeseburger with lettuce, ketchup, and mustard. While they're not the fixings I get with something like the cheeseburgers at my work, that's because they're not necessarily the cheeseburgers at my work. They're the cheeseburgers I get when my family decides to fire up the grill and make some burgers. Finally, I'll add a side of steamed broccoli. It's the first healthy food that I ever enjoyed eating as a kid. It opened me up to liking healthier sides, but I don't really consume it that frequently anymore. I didn't go into a whole lot of detail with these since these are mostly like constants in my household that aren't tied to like a specific memory. However, the next course is the opposite. Course 4 is dinner items from when I have gone eating out with family. My first dish of choice is a chicken sandwich. Like the items in the last section, I don't really associate these with like a specific memory. You know, it's just a wide variety of, positive memories. It's a dish that's basically what I order at most restaurants that have it. My next dish of choice is a Caesar salad topped off with grilled chicken. This one has a pretty interesting backstory. 3 years ago, on the last day of school before winter break, my family went out to eat to celebrate my mom's birthday. We went to the Carrabba's next to where the Yankee Candle used to be over in Williamsburg. Man, I should really make a commentary on that place. That place did not need to go as hard as it did. Anyways, I never really eaten at an Italian restaurant before, so I decided to order what seemed to be the most appetizing thing on the menu. The Caesar with grilled chicken. Oh my god, was it amazing. I think that experience, coupled with watching the Eddie Burback and 10 Division Rainforest Cafe road trip earlier in the year, that made me really into restaurants. It could have become like one of my hyperfixations if Mega Man wasn't already dominating my mind at the time. I've had like now and again over the years some like really good, some not great. Earlier this year I went to another restaurant in Williamsburg and their chicken Caesar is the only one that compares to Carrabba's. Including the second time I ate the Caesar salad at Carrabba's. Like, eating that Caesar salad at the other restaurant, that felt like the scene in Ratatouille, where Anton, like, eats the Ratatouille, and he's, like, transported back to his childhood. Like, that's what it felt like, despite the fact that it was, like, 2 years ago. Like, y'all can definitely see why this is included in my final meal now. And for the last dish in this course, baked mac and cheese. I do not have the same history with it as, say, the Caesar salad. It's a classic. It's mostly like a thing exclusive to like eating at Cracker Barrel, because that's the place I most associate with. I don't really have much more to say on that. Yeah, I guess I'll just move on to the last course, which is desserts. This one has 2 items. My first dish of choice would be a cookies and cream ice cream cone. Now, this has taken like a lot of forms over my life. I remember it most fondly as a wrapped treat that would go that would be my go-to for ice cream on lunch break back in school. It was a pretty damn good dessert. It had this like little piece of chocolate at the bottom of the cone. That was really really sweet. Just the icing on the cake. Like other forms it's taken are as like the ice cream cone I've ordered at like the Baskin Robbins on the same trip to Williamsburg I mentioned previously. Uh, like I've eaten like goods and cream at like the ice cream shop in my hometown. That's really great. And I've also like eaten a lot of the Oreo cones, which are now my go-to dessert at home. The Oreo cones also have that like little piece of chocolate at the bottom of the school cone, like the school cones, which is really really good. And my last dish for dessert is going to be a bit anticlimactic, but is a single Hershey's Kiss. My reasoning behind this is because growing up, I loved the We Wish You a Merry Christmas Hershey Kiss ads from around the holiday season. Even now, whenever I walk by one of my family members watching TV and the commercial comes on, I smile. So, if I ever did anything heinous enough to put me on death row, that is what I would choose as my final meal. And that's pretty much all there is to say. If you like the video and you want to see more, get certified, notified, I will be taking my leave now. Peace.